Funny story, actually. When I was 4 years old, me and my little brother were two peas in a pod. I was four, he was three. So he was my partner in crime. I wanted to go see Aunt Bebe. So what do? In the middle of the night, I wake up, I pull him out of his crib, put his pamper on, put a t-shirt on, and we're walking down Broad Street in Millville in the middle of the night. Yes, just to see Aunt Bebe. That right there shows you I'm adventurous. I started at a young age, and I'm continue to be the same adventurous person today. Growing up, um, I had a I had a great childhood. I can't really complain. I had a close knit family, but we were dysfunctional just like everyone else. My father, he was a truck driver. He had a successful business. He had four trucks, and he had three drivers working for him. As a kid, I don't remember ever wanting for anything. We always had everything, vacations, the whole nine, just everything that any family in a decent situation would have. My mother, she was a correction officer. She is a correction officer. She's been one for 18 years. She is the epitome of a queen, especially in my world. My mom is definitely my rock. She's one of my best friends. I talk to her every day, all day. Our relationship couldn't be any better, and it doesn't get any better. I have two brothers. One is in the Navy, one is in the Marines. We were all close growing up, so of course we're all close still today. We talk very often. We were raised as siblings, but we became friends on our own. I have a little sister. She's 9, actually. I was actually 18 when my mom had her, so she's like my baby and my little sister in one. I was kind of devastated when that happened. I was the only girl. So, yeah. As far as my life goes, I have two big principles in family. One is morals. I have very strong morals. I have a very strong religious background, and family. My family is everything. We're close. Two of my most amazing people in my life were my grandmothers. One passed away in April of 2018. One is still with me today. Literally my right-hand girl. Whenever I call her, whenever I need to vent, whenever I need to confide, she's always there for a prayer, for a talk, for a meal. My grandmothers were dichotomies. They were totally opposite. One was the God-fearing moral compass, and the other one who passed away was like the hard knock. She was raised in an era in the South where she had to be a lot harder than most. She was absolutely my world, so when she passed away, it was definitely a crushing moment. But luckily, I still have one more grandmother that she gives me everything I need. 5 years ago, I had a child. His name's Mikey. He's stylish. He has a great personality. He's handsome. He is the Dennis the Menace of the family. When I say Dennis the Menace, he is Dennis the Menace. But he is the only child in the family, so of course he is spoiled. But he brings joy to everybody's world. Personally, with me, I had a fun childhood. I had a interesting past, but I have a bright future. Those are 3 points in my life where I'm growing towards, I'm living for, and hopefully I accomplish everything that I want to achieve. I am 27 years old. I work full-time. I'm a full-time single mother, and I go to school full-time. So my life is definitely all over the place at the moment. But I keep it together. I keep it organized, and I make sure, and a lot of time that I do have, I get a lot of things done. I still have a social life. I frequent bars, I shop. I have a huge sneaker collection. I have about 150 pair of sneakers. I actually just sold about 75, so that was pretty heartbreaking to me. But I didn't wear them anymore, so it was time to let them go. I work for McLean. I work in the transportation department. It's a decent job. It pays the bills. We supply Wawa, so it's a very fast paced industry. So keeping up with that and being able to keep up with schoolwork is definitely a task, but it's definitely worth it. My life right now is everything that it needs to be. I have great relationships with everyone. I'm working towards getting my degree, which I'll be the first person in my family to accomplish that task. I have my social life. I just take things day by day. I'm never a person who, just thinks about something and just does it. I always think about the actions and if it affect anyone but me. I am very strong-minded, very strong-willed. I was raised by a lot of strong women. So being raised by a lot of strong women, you tend to have that strong characteristic of being firm and standing on what you believe. What I hope to accomplish in the future is I would like to get my bachelor's in science. I actually changed my major because I became interested in the science major, in the science field. So I would love to obtain that, which I will obtain that. I would like to travel more. I've been traveling, but I would like to travel a lot more now. But due to the virus, it's kind of a standstill. I actually had a vacation planned for the second week in April, and it was canceled. So, in conclusion, to knowing about me and finding more out about me, I am a strong worker. I have very strong characteristics, but I'm also very passive. I'm an introvert, unless I'm really spoken to. So all around, I think that I'm a very good person. I think I'm a solid person, and hopefully you guys feel the same. About my story in the beginning, as we were walking down Broad Street, we decided that we were going to go to my Aunt Baby's house. Aunt Baby is my favorite aunt in the entire world. So we're going to her house. We're 3 and 4 years old, walking down Broad Street in Millville. Thank God that a police officer actually stopped and talked to us and asked us where we were from and where we lived at. So I was old enough to remember that I lived on a blue house on the corner. So the officer actually took us back to the house. He knocked. My parents were totally unaware that we were out of the house. They were hysterical. They were just thankful that actually police officers actually found us and brought us back home. So the adventures don't stop, and neither do the adventures I continue to create. So thanks for taking the time out to listen to me.